After Paramount came out with its own hostile takeover offer yesterday, Netflix co-CEO Ted Sarandos says he's not too worried. He spoke at the UBS Global Media and Communications Conference in New York yesterday. Just take a listen.
Today's move was entirely expected. We have a deal done, and we are incredibly happy with the deal. We think it's great for our shareholders. We think it's great for consumers. We think it's a great way to create and protect jobs in the entertainment industry. We're super confident we're going to get it across the line and finish. So we're excited.
Let's bring in Bloomberg's Lucas Shaw, author of the Screen Time newsletter. Should he be as confident, Lucas?
First of all, I love those old photos that you have of Ted back from, I guess that's the release of Lilyhammer. Of course, he's going to project confidence. He agreed to a deal, and what Paramount is proposing at the moment is not different from what it proposed when it lost this auction last week, right? They're sticking with their $30 a share, and their insistence is that the board just didn't take the time to really consider it, and that if more shareholders hear their point of view, that they will be swayed. I think if Paramount stays on that current course, Ted has reason to be pretty confident because he already won with that. The risk for Ted and for Netflix would be if Paramount comes back and offers even more money, because then the board and the shareholders would likely think about opening it back up.
Lucas, you have spoken at length and in some detail in the last year and 2 years with both Ted Sarandos and with David Ellison. The reporting overnight was really focused on the coalition that David Ellison has pulled together for the financing. And part of that includes people that have proximity to the administration, Jared Kushner and his private equity firm being the easiest example. Just reflect on what you know of both CEOs in the competition between them, but also David Ellison's ability here to manage that relationship with the White House, if there is one.
Right. Well, look, I think one of the reasons that Netflix prevailed in the initial auction was that you put Ted Sarandos in a room with the Warner Brothers Discovery board and leadership, and he is charming and charismatic and is generally very good in those situations, right? It's one of the reasons that he is Netflix's primary person when it comes to, wooing talent. David Ellison has a little bit less experience with that, right? He's younger. He is very amiable, but he's not kind of like oozing the charm in the same way that Ted is. We've now entered a different phase of this, to your point, where a lot of it is more about kind of who you know and their proximity to people in positions of power. That's one area where Ted Sarandos is still very strong, but he comes generally from the Democratic side of the political aisle. And so Netflix is having to kind of find the people who can help them get ins in the Trump administration. To your point, David Ellison, in part because of his father Larry, and then also the various financiers he has a lot of different ways to access the president. Now, of course, all of this is moot, or should be moot, if the board decides one way or the other. But times are different now, I guess.
Times are different, but let's just go back to cold, hard cash here, because this really comes down to how much the investors are going to think the cable networks are worth, right?
That's a big part of it, yeah. I mean, the fundamental breakdown between what Paramount thinks of the state of play and what Warner Brothers Discovery thinks of the state of play is the value of the cable networks and the importance of cash. Paramount's bid is all cash. Netflix's bid is primarily cash, but not all cash. Paramount is valuing those cable networks at about $1 a share. By that valuation, their bid is superior to Netflix. Warner Brothers Discovery is valuing it at $3 or $4 a share, and by that metric, Netflix is superior. That's why I think it feels almost inevitable that Paramount, if it really wants it, will have to come over the top and just add, let's say, $3 to its bid. But we're not there yet.